ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं गुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवां शशिरूपं साक्षात् सगुणारघुनाथावितं तं सजीवं साधयितं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणाललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च हे कृष्णकरुणासिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्तां तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय सकलपतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा. Welcome to this discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are now in the fourth chapter, in the last part of the fourth chapter. Last week, when we discussed last class, we discussed about sloka number 4.40. So, on the overall, on the complete context, it is now focusing on the Divyan Jnana, the flow of thought. And the sloka number 40 is focusing on glory of Divya. We need to now see this verse um, 4.40 in elaborate. Let us read the sloka and get into it in details. Agnischa Ashraddhadanascha Samshayatma Vinashati Nayam Lokosti Napara Nashukam Samshayatma. But ignorant and faithless person who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness, stay forward. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So, if you see just a moment. You see the presentation. We discussed about this faith and knowledge. So, faith is very important. The next important thing is we need to understand Atna, no knowledge, Ashraddhadhana, Samshayatma, elimination versus suspension. So we discussed this elimination versus suspension in our previous class. Now, um, and now we will be seeing the how we should take this further. The point of faith is um, is a matter of choice. It is like our muscle. Uh, so everywhere, just if we have faith, we will definitely get knowledge. So everybody has faith. Everybody has muscle. Uh, we can build this muscle by practice and exercise. There are some people who are born with very good muscle. Same way, some people are born with very good faith. Some people can cultivate this faith. So thus the study in scriptures bring more faith. What is the exercise that we need to do to build faith? We need to study the scriptures. We need to hear the classes attentively. This will increase the faith. By associating with devotees, we increase the faith. By seeing the devotees practice the devotional life, detachment, we get faith. So this is muscle building exercise. Some people are born in families in which the practice is there from the beginning, and due to the karma, the children are born in the karma match of their parents. That is the father and mother karma, as well as the child's karma match. So it is born in a family in which the practice of devotional life is the right from the time of birth. So it is like the muscle is born right from the birth. So now we saw the activities which can cultivate faith. It is not that faith is just formed; it can be also cultivated. So just like faith can be cultivated, doubt also gets cultivated. Like in a field, crop grows and also weeds grow. So there is when faith is growing, doubt may also grow. These activities which cause doubt. So for example, when you're browsing internet to understand controversies in with ISKCON or problems among devotees and so on, this results in raising more doubt. In internet, there is no depth for these type of material. We need to design and be clear what we want from ISKCON. Why did we choose to be in ISKCON? He principally chose ISKCON to become Krishna conscious. That would be our focus and nothing else. Krishna is fundamentally Kalpatar. His institution, ISKCON, is also Kalpatar. So if you want bhakti, we will get bhakti. If you want controversy, you will get that. So choice is with us. If you want to build faith, we will get faith on Krishna. If we doubt Krishna, we will get that also will be granted by Krishna. So if you want bhakti, we will get it. If you want controversy, we will get it. So choice is with us. We must focus on being well informed about the subjects discussed in Srila Prabhupada's book. This is most important. Should be our focus. Well informed about topics in Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna wants us to study and pick up. These are all eternal principles and they are transformational principles. Thus, we need to make a choice of doing activities which can transform us from being sinful to being Krishna conscious, and then start being Krishna conscious and then build faith on Krishna. This way, we will move forward in spiritual life. However, we may get doubt in Krishna conscious practice. These are to be addressed, and here we follow the principle of elimination or suspension, which was discussed in last session. Because the faith is a matter of human choice. Interestingly, Krishna discussed one important topic in 7.21. Yo yo yamya tanu bhakta Shraddhaya architum ichati tasya achalam shraddham tameva vidadamyaham. This is from chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute. What does it mean? In everyone's art, I am in everyone's art as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. There is one more shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.21. Vidyate hridaya granthas chidyante sarva samshaya shiyante chasya karmani trishta evatmanishvara. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruit reaction is terminated when one sees the self as master. So samshaya is an important word. Here also shraddhaya. So we are talking about faith and doubt. Samshaya in this shloka is translated as misgivings. Prabhupada translates as misgiving. Misgiving is feeling of doubt, worry, or suspicion. All these are cut to pieces by sword of knowledge, which comes from practice of devotional service. This knowledge is nothing but brilliant insights, realizations, convictions. These come in all of a sudden when we are executing devotional service. There are, okay, so these are so deepening that all our doubts are just washed away or cleared. This could be an instantaneous spurt. We listen to a class of Prabhupada and this doubts gets cleared. In some cases, we will see that the transformation happens gradually. Either way, it is a matter of our choice and Lord's grace. Our choice is immediate. Lord's grace, we wait. We need to wait for the right moment. So it will happen gradually. Our choice should be to pick up the activities which build faith in this process of bhakti and Krishna. In this way, We can progress in the spiritual journey by strengthening our faith. So if we see the shloka, one should therefore follow, in other words, doubtful persons have no status whatsoever in spiritual emancipation. One should therefore follow in the footsteps of great acharyas who are in disciplinary succession and thereby attain success. So for us, the greatest acharya that we know is Srila Prabhupada. So we should just follow in his footpath and according to bhakti. Okay, let us go to the next shloka, shloka number 41. Yoga Sanyasta Karmana Dhyana Sanchinna Samshaya Atmavantam Karmani Nibadananti Dhananjaya. So, what does that shloka talk about? One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his action, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by reactions of the world. O conqueror of creatures. Destroyed, doubts are destroyed by transcendental knowledge and factually situated in self. So, this shloka is focusing on acting on knowledge, acting on jnana. Till now, Krishna was talking only about the knowledge. So what we do once we get the knowledge, we need to act on it. Yoga sannyasta karmana, we need to act. So one practices yoga sannyasta karmana means one practices the devotional service and gives up fruitive activity. Then what happens? Jnana sinchana samshaya. So then by knowledge, cut samshaya, all doubts. Then all of our doubts gets removed by this knowledge. Then what happens? Atmavanta. One is situated in spiritual platform. Then what happens? Na karmani nibadananti. Such a person will not be bound by karma. Na karmani nibadananti. Dhananjaya, we have to read as a separate word, which is co-accumulator of wealth. So one who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his action, whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is factually situated in self. Is situated in self means situated in spiritual platform. So in this verse, Krishna is using the word karma two times. One is using yoga sannyasa karma. Atmavantam na karmani nibadananti. Na karmani nibadananti. So he is using it for two times. One, uh, act without attachment to the results of the fruit. Then, na karmani nibadananti. You will not get bound by the, you will not get bound by the karma. So, first referring to giving up of fruitive activities. Then, superficial reading will render the meaning that we have to give up or renounce karma. Sannyasa karmana. But Prabhupada is telling renouncing the fruits of action. So superficial reading will render the meaning that we have to give up or renounce karma. So deeper meaning will be revealed when the second usage of karma is understood in conjunction with the first karma. So second karma is referring to no binding by the reactions of the world. Na karmani nibadananti. You will not get bound by the reactions of God. So there is one interesting shloka number 4.39 also. So in BG 4.18 section we discussed four connotations. So karmani akarma of action in inaction, action in inaction, inaction akarmani cha karma, inaction in action. Then so karma has four connotations. One is action in inaction, and inaction in action, the system of action and reaction. So, and then one type of action, which is pious action. So now if we go to the slide, action and inaction in action, system of action and reaction, and one type of action, which is pious action. So here the first karma in this shloka is referring to, first karma is referring to the fruitive activities. First karma is referring to fruitive activities or pious action. And yoga sannyasta karma atmavantam na karmani na nibadananti. So here karma refers to actions of reactions of karma, and in this one, karmani refers to reactions of the karma. Thus, the whole conclusion of this chapter is for Arjuna to act. If you see the shloka number 4.42, Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam, Etastin Jnanasit Atmana, Chittainam Samshayam Yogam, Artistotista Bharata. So what is it saying? Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your out of ignorance should be slashed by weapon of knowledge, armed with yoga. O Arjuna, O Bharata, stand and fight. So the whole conclusion of the chapter, which is this 42nd shloka, is the last shloka of chapter 4. So the conclusion is Arjuna has to act. We may think here there is ambiguity in this shloka. Yoga sannyasta karmana. Does this sannyasta karmana refer to renouncing action? So this line, when read along with 4.39, so that means when we go to shloka number 39, let's go to that. Shraddhava lavate jnana tat para samayatendriya jnanam ladva parashanti achirena adhigacchati. So, a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it is quickly, he quickly attains the spiritual peace. So, jnanam ladva param shanti. So, shanti means peace. So, the peace is possible only by renouncing work. Krishna is referring here to transcendental peace, which comes by living in harmony with our spiritual nature. Arjuna has not comprehended that. For Arjuna, it is only peace, attaining peace. Thus, there is a ambiguity. How do we resolve this? Arjuna may be thinking, so peace is possible only by renouncing work. Further, there is no mention of fighting even once in the entire chapter till now. So many things were discussed, like Krishna's giving this time-tested knowledge, Krishna's birth and activities and its purpose. Krishna also talked about different sacrifices. So how to get this knowledge of sacrifices from a bona fide spiritual master? Also, this Krishna talks how this knowledge is superior and gives peace. Where is the instruction to Arjuna to fight? So one thing we understand is that Krishna is giving deeper philosophical truth. Thus, the specificity of battlefield and fighting is not talked about. In VG 4.17 and 4.18, Krishna explains. So, if you go to shloka number 4.17, कर्मणो हि अपि बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहाना कर्मणो gati. So that is, the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. And if you see 4.18, karmani akarmana yapaschet, akarmanischa karmayah, sa buddhiman manusheshu sa yukta krishna karmakat. So what is this meaning? One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position although engaged in all sorts of activities. So Arjuna may not have comprehended the subject correctly, and he may be thinking, Krishna wants peace, and hence I will renounce work. So I do not have to fight. That is what Krishna, no, Arjuna may conclude. We will see how Krishna takes the conclusion of this chapter to a next level in the next shloka, which is the last shloka of this chapter, which is shloka number 42. It says, Tasmat Ajnana Sambhuta Ritasya Jnanasitatmana Chitvainam Samshayam Yogam Artistotista Bharata. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. So, asina means by weapon. Here, actually, asina means sword. So, the doubts which are born of ignorance needs to be cut by the sword of knowledge. So, Uttista is a categorical word here, which is Uttista, stand up and wait, which calls for action. So Dhananjaya, which is there in the previous verse, if you see the previous verse, Krishna is using the word Dhananjaya. So Bharata and Dhananjaya are laudatory references to Arjuna. So here he is conqueror of wealth. He is son of, no, he is the progeny in the Bharata dynasty. So these are all laudatory references to Arjuna to act. So that means, so if you take shloka number 1.46, Sanjaya Vacha, Eva Ukla Arjuna Shanke, Ratopastha Upavisha, Visruja Shasharam Chapam, Shoka Samnigna Manasa. So Sanjaya is telling Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield. So in the first chapter, Arjuna looks at the army and puts down his bow. So Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. So when you see that Arjuna casting away his bows and arrows, he sat down on the chariot. Therefore, the use of word uttishta is very significant. It is significant word which calls for action. So this has a connotation of asking Arjuna to get up. This getting up should follow by fighting. This fighting is the main purpose of gathering at Kurukshetra. It was this fighting which Arjuna denied. Thus, at the end of fourth chapter, Krishna is calling for action to fight. Thus, the conclusion is that we should give up all fruitive activities. These activities lead to sense gratification. By giving up fruitive activities, we get freed from cycle of karmic creation. But this alone is not enough. We should act according to the instructions of Krishna. That is real knowledge. Thus, the knowledge imparted by Krishna to Sun God and to all others in the past and to Arjuna now, which we can also get by approaching a bona fide Acharya in a parampara, instructs us to act for satisfaction of Krishna. If you see, there is one more verse, 2.37. Atva Prapshasi Swargam, Jitva va Bhokshyasi me, Tasmat Uttishta Kaunteya, Yuddhaya Krita Nishchaya. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Thus, this word Uttishta gives the understanding that Arjuna has to get up and fight. In Bhagavad Gita 4.42, which is the last shloka of this chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, armed with sword of knowledge, fight. Okay. So this there is a possible confusion for Arjuna. Arjuna being a talented archer cannot understand sword of knowledge. How can he use this weapon to fight? He can understand to fight with bows and arrows, being an archer. What is this sword of knowledge? Arjuna may also think Krishna asked him to adapt to peace by following karma sannyasa. So where is the spirit of fighting coming from? So Krishna actually means that Arjuna, you are spirit souls. You are my part and parcel. Thus, acting for Krishna will not lead to bondage, but to purification and liberation. This is the knowledge Krishna is imparting. Acting with this knowledge leads to purification and liberation. Further, Arjuna will have this understanding, which is quoted here as yoga, samshayam yogam. And then he will, then next word is artistotista bharata. So he will how yoga and fighting can come one next to another. This yoga described here actually means karma yoga. Ultimately, Krishna will move the entire theme towards bhakti yoga. But here, this yoga which is put here is karma yoga, which means we have to act in the direction which Krishna is prescribing. So if you see the last line, Prabhupada is mentioning, one should therefore follow the path of Bhagavad Gita as it is expressed in Gita itself and beware of self-interested people after personal aggrandizement who deviate others from the actual path. The Lord is definitely the supreme person and his activities are transcendental. One who understands this is a liberated person from the very beginning of the study of Bhagavad Gita. So personal aggrandizement means to promote one's own name and fame instead of giving the actual message of Gita. They interpret the Gita in newer ways to gain popularity. Now we have this trend of originality. They think originality means special value. Originality means being tried for the first time. No one has tried for the first time. No one has tried this before. They boast that this is my original commentary on Bhagavad Gita because no one has tried it before. I am the origin of Bhagavad Gita. These insights are, these insights are also, this means no one has thought about it in the past, and this person who is writing the commentary on Bhagavad Gita is giving the first time interpretation. These thoughts are born not from uh, not from eternal source. These are born from fertile minds of the commentator. Thus, original can mean that something originates from it. Original can also mean that it is having the same meaning or it is as it is at the time of origin. Let us consider someone is traveling on the road. There is a sharp curve and there is a signage saying that go slowly. The best way to understand this traffic signal is to know the intention of person who originally designed the board in the first place. The exploration to find the new meaning of the word go slow will not help us. We do not need new interpretations of the road signs. What we need is the insight into the intention of the person who originally thought about and made the sign. So originality does not mean that it originates in me. Originality means as it was at the time of origin, or the time of origin. Originality means it is understood as it is or as it was originally intended. This is originality that we require in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, as it is given by Srila Prabhupada, gives us this originality. Krishna's intention is that we act in the mood of sacrifice, culminating in selfless divine service of Krishna, who is the supreme personality of God. This is Bhakti Yoga. With this understanding, when we practice spiritual life, then there is steady spiritual advancement. So let us do our best to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is given by Srila Prabhupada. Then we will progress, steadily on the path of devotional service and go to Krishna at the end of our life. Thank you very much. Manchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhayascha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव। Goal Premanande Krishna. Thank you very much.